Okay. Namaste. Welcome to another episode of Spiritual Studies. We're still reading the same book. They told me I always start like this, but it's true. It's been like a while. So we're still reading the Spiritual Essence of Man, the Chakras, and the Inverted Tree of Life. So, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for coming. Okay, shall we do a quick invocation? You can do your own invocation mentally, or you can follow us. To the Divine Supreme and Absolute God, to my spiritual teacher, all spiritual teachers, holy angels, holy masters, to all the saints, to Divine Lord Christ, and to the hierarchy of the holy angels and archangels, and to all the great ones, we humbly thank you for your divine and priceless blessings. Thank you for your divine light, divine love, and divine mercy, good health, protection, guidance, and divine illumination. Thank you for the priceless blessings, the priceless teachings, the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, for the intuition. Thank you. With deep gratitude, respect, and love, so be it. Thank you. Okay. So, last week we finished, did we finish Hod?
I think we
The
did.
navel chakra? Did we?
Yes.
Did we go through the divine, let me check. No, it wasn't Hod, it was Tiferet, right?
Yes, we were on Tiferet.
Tiferet.
Finished it, I believe.
Yes, we did cover. We didn't cover the divine.
Finished it.
Okay, interesting thing about Tiferet and the divine name of Tiferet. It's Aloah, right? Aloah. Va dot. What is dot? Knowledge, right? Knowledge. It has to do also with the throat chakra. I don't know. I can talk. Actually, I don't know that I can talk more about the divine name, but there is. But at least you can recognize that on the divine name. So at least it's a clue. How's that? Good? So it's pointing you to knowledge. And then the other word that if you hear me spelling a word and I'm not reading that divine name, it's because it's a divine name. So it has to do with the divine. It has to do, with a special name of power. So that's another clue as to the source of it. Okay? So, the source of life. Chapter 7, the source of life, Netzach, victory or power. So, Netzach, the Spleen Chakra, victory or power. This is, I don't know if you can see this here. Right, this is the Spleen Chakra. This is located here. It's generally not a chakra that is very commonly seen, commonly known about, because it is, instead of being at the in the center channel, is towards the left, right, from the spleen. But it's still a major chakra and quite important, as you will see very soon. So this is how it looks. How it looks when it's not in motion. Again, chakras are never not in motion. If your chakra is not in motion, you're dead. Your physical body is dead. So you would die. I mean, even when your body dies, the chakras are still in motion. They are retrieved. Okay. So, but this is how it would look if it was still. If you would take a picture like There you go. And then this is Netzach moving. This is how it looks, beautiful. Okay, so it says Netzach, the Spleen Chakra. Netzach in Kabbalah, according to the author, it says Netzach in Kabbalah means victory or power. Victory or power. It corresponds to the Spleen Chakra. The Spleen Chakra is the source of power and life energy. Without power and life energy, a person cannot be successful or victorious. Victory important. I mean, no, it's nice. It's called victory, right? There's also a car called a car manufacturer called Triumph, right? And so what? It's nice. It's just a nice name, but this is not really not only a nice name. He's talking about what is victory? Is to be successful, right? To be victorious in something is to succeed in something, and so that's what the author is trying to point to. He's saying without life energy, one cannot be successful. So whatever you would like to achieve, you need a good Netzach, a good Spleen Chakra. Clear? For success. So he's trying to, so the author, I really like what the author is trying to do here, because the author is trying to explain that it is something important for your success, for your life. How can, he can link this, ancient name to your life. So, without power and life energy, a person cannot be successful or victorious. It is through the Spleen Chakra that air prana is absorbed, digested, and distributed to different chakras or sephiroth. Now, so what did the author say? Did the author say something? It says what? That the Spleen Chakra is where what prana is absorbed?
Air prana.
Air prana. So why is air prana important? Air prana, right? We get a lot of energy from air prana. What does air prana have that is so special? Air prana has something called vitality globules. Vitality globules. So these vitality globules are filled with solar prana. Yes? Have you guys ever looked at the sky and then you see like this little things floating? If you stare looking at the firmament, at the blue sky, you may start seeing like this little squiggly things. If you stay staring, you start seeing that they are actually brilliant. If it was actually still day outside, I will take you guys out so you could see. So actually, I'll give you homework for next week. So just go outside. If you haven't done this already, go outside. Look at the blue sky, and then when it's sunny out, just look at the blue sky and stay staring. You're gonna start seeing these little squiggly lines.
Helps if you do your hands like this and look through the triangle.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do that too.
Helps you defocus and focus at the same time.
Yes, so they're telling us you can do this and you can look through the window of your hand, and it helps to defocus your vision and focus again. But if you just stare at the blue sky for a while, trust me, you'll see it. You see the squiggly lines, and you start seeing that they are brilliant. Right? They're like brilliant points of light, and they are moving. The longer you stare.
Like neurons.
Yeah, and then you'll see it. Yes, they look like neurons. And so this is vitality globules. They are filled with solar prana. Solar prana is very powerful, right? So air prana has this. So Netzach, the Spleen Chakra, absorbs, digests, right, and distributes. What do you mean digest? It has all these colors. It has all this indigo, right? But that's okay. Those are higher divine colors. But it has ordinary violet. It has blue. It has green. It has yellow. It has orange, and it has red. And then after it absorbs and digests them, it distributes to the other chakras. So if you see that it has all these colors, it actually distributes them, the right colors to the right chakras that use these colors.
Amazing.
That's why it has all the colors. Yeah, it's pretty special. So I would say that that's a major chakra right there. So the spleen chakra is the source of life energy for the other chakras. That's very special sentence. The spleen chakra is the source of life energy for the other chakras. That is huge. It draws in air prana or white prana and breaks it down into red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet pranas, which are then distributed to the other major chakras and to the entire body. Why to the entire body? Because the chakras are not just there just by themselves. They're there to energize, right? Cleanse, energize, and take care of all your different organs and different parts of your body. So the color pranas that your chakras have to do with the organs and that those parts of your body surrounding them, and that they affect somehow. So it's very important to understand this, right? Because it's not only about the chakras; it's also about the organs and the parts of your body that are affected by those chakras. Throat Chakra. So this means that the other major chakras and vital organs are substantially dependent on the spleen chakra for pranic energy. Did he say something? That the other chakras are what? Dependent. They are dependent of the spleen chakra for prana, for the color pranas.
For the color pranas?
For the pranic energies, for pranic energy, they're dependent on the spleen chakra for pranic energy.
So how is the divine energy different? The energy that they receive.
So you have two types of energy, right? You have you have more than two types of energy, but let's just cover the types of energy, right? Or let's just say like this, like people say, how many chakras are there? A lot of people say 7, right? They don't know about a 12 chakra system or 11 chakra system, so they talk about 7 chakras or 9 chakras or whatnot. And so yes, there are 7 chakras, but no one said there were only 7 chakras. So I'll say there are 2 types of energy, but I'm not saying that there's only the types of energy, but this is what I will speak about today, okay? So there's the types of energy that we're aware of. So we have pranic energy, which is the energy that we absorb from the air, from the sun, from the ground, etc., right? And then there's also divine energy. What is the difference between divine energy and pranic energy? That divine energy is energy with consciousness. Correct. So it's divine, and also obviously the frequency, right? But it's energy with consciousness.
So you need both.
You need both. Why do you need both? Because the pranic energy
It's grounding.
allows you to have a physical body, an etheric body. It helps you also with your other vehicles, the emotional and mental vehicles and stuff like that. The divine energy is divine.
Would you say that the pranic energy energizes more so than heals, and maybe the divine energy has more healing properties?
No,
or not really?
not energy. No. energy is, energy is energy. It's like a fertilizer, right? But it enhances whatever is there. Energy is energy. It's like water, right? So the water in the ocean is there, and then you can say the water in the ocean. Would you say that it's more cleansing or more energizing or more what? But the water is water, right? Energy is energy. Different types of different color energies denote different frequencies of energy, right? And they have different properties. So they do different things. And white energy has all the colors within it, which is what Netzach breaks down, right? Digests, breaks down, and distributes. So that, so that the chakras that need more specific, that deal with specific colors, can use them. And then they depend on Netzach, on the Spleen Chakra, for Pranic Energy. That's why it's a major chakra, even though it's not in the center channel. So if it's not in the center channel, how come it's a major chakra? Well, because this is pretty major, right? So what happens with divine energy? Divine energy has different purposes. These subtle energies have the purposes, right, of maintaining the physical body, and maybe other things, other more subtle things that connect to other bodies, but they depend on this. They depend on this, and there are many different frequencies of the same color, let's just say. So they're knocking upstairs. But it's important to understand that part. You understand? So what else? So when the spleen chakra becomes dirty, as in the case of a contaminated healer, not successful or victorious in life. Unless the spleen chakra is healthy, a person does not have enough pranic energy to do anything, more so to achieve success in life. Mateo, could you do me a favor? Help?
Oh.
So, unless the spleen chakra is healthy, a person does not have enough pranic energy to do anything more, so to achieve success in life. So, also when you see there's overcast outside, you see that when there's clouds, the day is cloudy, they cover the sun. Most people are very super energetic, right? No, right. I'm just joking. So, being sarcastic. So when when you have overcast, when the day is cloudy, most people are sluggish, right? So you have to understand, since the sun is covered, there's not that much solar prana going through, right, in the vitality globules. Therefore, when your spleen chakra needs to absorb more to be able to supply as much energy. But because most people's spleen chakra is not as developed, right, then it has less to absorb, so people feel more tired. So it's less energy. And like the author says again, if the spleen chakra is not healthy or doesn't have as much energy to absorb, etc., you don't have enough pranic energy to do anything, and more so, you will not be able to achieve success in life. To achieve success, you need to be active. Whether it's thinking, or whether it's physically thinking, emotionally, it doesn't matter. You need to have activity. The spleen chakra is located at the center of the left bottom rib. At the center of what rib? Left bottom rib. The back spleen chakra is located at the back of the front spleen chakra. Both the front and the back of the spleen chakra have the same functions. The spleen chakra, which has 6 petals, is normally about 1/3 to 1/2 the average size of the other chakras. So if you're, just good trivia, right? Unless you're a pranic healer and you really need to know this. So if you're measuring the chakras, it is what? 1/3 to 1/2 of the size of the other chakras. Physiological functions. The spleen chakra, Netzach, controls and energizes the physical spleen of the body. The physical spleen removes abnormal particles. It purifies the blood of disease-causing germs and destroys worn-out blood cells. It also produces antibodies. It is thought that it is through the spleen chakra that the body is victorious over disease-causing germs. The functions of the spleen chakra are the following. It controls and energizes the physical spleen. It affects the pranic energy level or the general vitality of the body. It affects the quality of the blood. It affects the immunity system of the body. Malfunctioning of the spleen chakra, Netzach, may manifest as ailments of the physical spleen: low vitality, lower immunity level, dirty blood and blood ailments, arthritis or rheumatism. Rheumatoid arthritis patients have dirty spleen chakras. The spleen chakra, Netzach, apparently plays a vital part in a person's general well-being. It affects the physical and psychological energy level of a person. Why do you think this is? Why does the spleen chakra plays a vital part in a person's general well-being? It says it affects the physical and psychological energy level of a person.
Because it controls your energy. So if you have less energy, then I guess the person doesn't feel too...
Your well-being is important, right?
Yeah.
And like it says, it also has to do with, your immune system, purifying the blood, keeping it good. It goes through your whole body. Imagine, it purifies it, so your blood goes through your whole body, just like it energizes, right, all the other chakras. It's also, and so how does it affect therefore, higher emotions, right? Your solar plexus has to do with what? It's a center for your lower emotions, right? It affects it also affects all these organs here. This affects your heart organ, also the center for higher emotions, knowledge, right? And it also takes care of your throat, the beginning of the digestion starts here, right? It also has to do with all your other chakras, right? So your ajna, your forehead, your crown, everything else. It affects all these chakras. All these chakras have a purpose. They have something to do. And so your general well-being is that all your chakras are balanced and working harmoniously and properly. So if all your chakras are balanced and working harmoniously and properly, then you have your general well-being is very good. For this to happen, they need to be nourished and by pranic energy, and that's the job of Netzach, the spleen chakra. Other chakras also nourish the higher chakras, like the sex chakra also nourish the upper chakras. I mean all the chakras, but also the spleen, right, nourishes the chakras through pranic energy, with pranic energy. So then the author continues. If the spleen chakra, Netzach, is clean and highly energized, the person will feel strong and healthy. If it is weak, the person will also feel weak. A weak spleen chakra means a weak physical body and low pranic energy level. A person who is quite depressed has a depleted spleen chakra, Netzach. Netzach and Tiferet. That's very interesting. What does Netzach have to do with Tiferet? We just covered Tiferet. The Spleen Chakra, Netzach, is closely related to the navel chakra. What did the author say?
Closely related.
The Spleen Chakra and what chakra? The navel chakra. Closely related. Tiferet. When the navel chakra, Tiferet, is highly energized and activated, the Spleen Chakra, Netzach, also becomes substantially energized and partially activated, thereby drawing in more air prana. This condition increases the pranic energy level of the entire body. I like how it says partially activated. Because it doesn't fully activate it, right? But it partially activates it. Because it doesn't have full control, but there's a connection in between. That's what it means.
The navel partially activates the spleen.
The navel partially activates the spleen, and when Tiferet is the navel is highly energized and activated, the Spleen Chakra, Netzach, also becomes substantially energized, in a great way, substantially, and partially activated, thereby drawing more air prana. This condition increases the pranic energy level of the entire body, because another chakra for vitality is the navel chakra, Tiferet. So now you have two chakras. Now you know the two chakras that have to do with vitality. There's one more. We'll read about it later. So, well, there's others, but these are very important in vitality, right? And these are closely connected. A person can be energized by just concentrating on the navel chakra, Tiferet. This will substantially activate and energize the Spleen Chakra, Netzach, which in turn energizes the other chakras, and thus the entire body. The navel chakra, Tiferet, is also closely related to the Meng chakra, Hod. Okay, so they just gave you the other chakra right there. Hod. Meng.
The Meng.
So the navel chakra, Tiferet, is also closely related to the Meng chakra, Hod. So what did the author say? So just by being aware of your navel, right, you can energize your entire body. Why? Correct, because it affects the spleen. So just by being aware of your navel, that happens. So when you concentrate on navel chakra, so if you concentrate on navel chakra, right? So let's say you guys want to do an experiment? Yes? Okay. Yes or no?
Yes.
You want to sleep or you don't want to sleep? Who needs sleep, right? No, erase it. We do need it. So,
we need to energize ourselves so that we can be more excited about the experiment.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so that's actually the experiment. So we're going to connect your tongue to the palate every time, right? So now be aware of your navel. And then inhale. You're going to do inhale 7-1-7-1, right? So you inhale for 7, hold for 1, exhale for 7, a count of 7, and hold for a count of 1. Inhale for a count of 7, hold for a count of 1, exhale for a count of 7, hold for a count of 1. Can you do this? Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that 7 times. Let's do 7 breathing cycles.
Question first.
Yes.
How are you inhaling?
If you inhale, you expand your stomach,
When
right?
you inhale.
Yes.
Okay.
I already have a belly, so it looks like I'm already expanding my stomach, but that's okay. So what you do is you inhale. You can put even if you want to, right? If you 7, right? Inhale, feel your stomach expand. Hold for 1, exhale for 7. You bring your stomach in. Hold. Inhale for 7. 3 more. Come on, you can do this. Last one. Okay, be still, be aware. Be aware of your entire body. Do you feel the vibration? A very slight, subtle vibration in your body. Arms. Palms. You open your eyes. Okay. How do you feel? Do you feel weak? Who feels weak? No? Who feels stronger? Or who feels strong? Yes? Yes, yes? Yes? Who wants to do another experiment? Come on, it didn't work. Let's do this again. Let's say something. You can say something. It's okay. Who wants to do another experiment?
Me!
Okay.
Keep me all crowd.
Okay, so it worked. No. We're not doing another experiment. We're not doing another experiment. Okay. All right, so again on page 118, it is advisable, says the author, not to over-energize the spleen chakra of patients. What does it mean by patients? By pranic, when he's talking about pranic healing or energy healing patients. It is advisable not to over-energize the spleen chakra of patients with hypertension or with history of hypertension, because this may increase the blood pressure. It is also advisable not to energize the spleen chakra, Netzach, of infants or young children, unless really necessary, because they may faint as a result of pranic congestion. They may faint as a result of pranic congestion. However, should this happen, just apply general sweeping. These things are important, especially if you guys do energy healing, and this is really important. On the other hand, based on clairvoyant observations, the spleen chakra Netzach of patients suffering from cases of severe infection is adversely affected. Such patients are very weak or very depleted. Therefore, their spleen chakra must be treated to facilitate and speed up healing. Only experienced or advanced pranic healers, however, should energize the spleen chakra. Is he saying something? Only experienced, advanced pranic healers should be energizing the spleen chakra, or they're the ones that should be doing this. If you're not, do not do it. So, only advanced and experienced pranic healers should energize the spleen chakra. Chinese and Indian correspondence of Netzach. In Taoist yoga, right, the front spleen chakra corresponds to Fu Ai. Again, I'm sorry for the pronunciation. So, because if someone listening speaks Chinese, they will not understand what I'm saying. It's like, what? That's not Chinese. True. But I'm reading. It says Fu Ai, right? Fu Ai, which means abdomen of depression. In Chinese medicine, it corresponds to the acupuncture point SP16. The back spleen chakra in Taoist yoga corresponds to Wei Kang, which means stomach storage. In Chinese medicine, it corresponds to acupuncture point BL50. So, abdomen of depression, right? And stomach storage. The correspondence of the spleen chakra in Sanskrit is Prana Chakra. What does Prana Chakra mean? Prana means what? Life energy. So it's the chakra of life energy. Chakra of prana. pretty accurate, right? Very good name. In Tamil, southern India, it is called Kadiral Varman. So, then it says, give us this day our daily bread. Netzach is the entry point of prana or life energy of the body. In the Lord's Prayer, it corresponds to the phrase, give us this day our daily bread. Because it nourishes all the other chakras. The word bread symbolizes life energy, which is required by the physical body in order to survive. Similarly, the Hawaiian kahuna term for life energy is mana or mana. And in Chinese, it is called qi. The condition of Netzach affects the physical and psychological energy level of a person. Question: why does it affect the psychological energy level of a person? If it's really just energized, if it's energizing, right? If it's prana, life energy, right, for energizing the body, it says it's physical and psychological energy level. Physical energy level makes sense, yes?
Yeah.
Why does it say psychological?
Because our chakras need energy to be active, but at the same time, it's kind of like kosher words, kosher thoughts, right? So if it's dirty or it's not healthy, right? It can't be bringing clean energy in. Right?
Yes,
Which
close.
Distributes to the higher chakras.
Yes. So yes, in close. So what happens is that the chakras are multi-level beings. The chakras are beings. They are alive.
Like 30
Do you
grounds
understand?
breed 30 elementals.
No. So understand, the chakras are alive. They are beings. You guys are multidimensional beings. We're constantly living in multiple dimensions at the same time. We have a physical body, we have an etheric body, we have an astral body or emotional body, we have a mental body, and we have other bodies which make up our aura. Why do we have so many bodies, right? I've said it before. We have a physical body, but are we the body or are we the soul?
The soul.
The soul, yes? We're like a spirit, we're the soul. So we have a physical body so that we can interact with the physical world, right? Touch physical things that are made by physical matter. So just like if you want to go into the internet, which in a way is like a world, a virtual world, you need to have a device to interact with this virtual world. You need a phone or a computer or a tablet. You need something, right, to interact with that physical world. It's not like you're imagining it and then, I'm interacting with the internet. No. So you need a device that connects you to that and that allows you to interact with that world. The same thing here. You need a device to interact with the physical world. That device is your physical body. This vehicle allows you to interact with the physical world. Then you have an etheric body that allows you to interact with the higher physical or the etheric world. Then you have an emotional body or an astral body that allows you to interact with the astral world. So when we sleep, again, right, the soul goes into the astral body and leaves a small portion of itself so that it can maintain the main bodily functions so that you can, your physical body doesn't die. And then you travel in the astral world. You interact with the astral world through your astral body, and you interact with astral matter. The same goes for your mental body. It allows you to interact with mental matter in the mental world, and so on and so forth and so forth and so on with the other spiritual bodies. Right? So the chakras are multi-dimensional beings, just like you're the multi-dimensional being. So the chakras are they affect your physical body, and also especially some chakras, they affect your other bodies. So like the heart chakra, right? This is the center for higher emotions. And the solar plexus chakra is the center for lower emotions. Another name for chakra is gate. Chakras are also seen as gates or portals. Why? Because through these chakras you have access to, let's say, the astral plane. Through these two you have access to the astral plane. You understand? Because the astral plane or the emotional plane, you have a higher astral plane and a lower astral plane. A higher emotional plane and a lower emotional plane that has these energies. So the chakras are also they deal with psychological energy, with thoughts, with emotions. So you have chakras that have to do with thoughts and emotions, right? So how about the throat chakra? That's is knowledge, right? Concrete thought. And so abstract thought. So we're talking about mental and psychological, right? The same thing goes for the emotions. Same thing goes for the physical body. But this is feeding, this is nourishing all these chakras that have to do, that they don't only have a physical role, but also have a psychological role. So if the chakra is not nourished properly, it will affect the person at many levels. Do you understand how amazing it is that we are multidimensional beings? And that we are actually bringing into this plane other planes, and they're coming, and we are expressing them through us, through this experience.
That's how we manifest, right?
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. You have to understand that you're not only in the physical plane, you're also bringing into this physical plane thoughts, emotions, and these are from other planes, and other things, spiritual things, energetic, subtle energy, divine energy, divine planes. All of this is converging here in you. This is why when we meditate, they say that when it is important, when we are in the physical world, we have a physical vehicle, physical body, when we meditate, we are physicalizing the energy, anchoring the energy, where we're meditating. And it helps to manifest this, energy of goodness. So, that's why it says the condition of Netzach affects the physical and psychological energy level of a person. Now, you guys see why? Now? Okay. Now, the 7th commandment. The Netzach, Spleen Chakra, corresponds to the 7th commandment. Exodus 20:14 in the Oxford Bible says, "You shall not commit adultery." The divine name of Netzach. The divine name of Netzach is YH. Yeah, don't read it. So YEHOVAH. Depending on what you're reading, sometimes it can be translated as YHVH. Because the thing is that this is in Hebrew they never pronounce the name of God and or divine names, and if even when they write it, there's no vowels, so they just put consonants. And so here it's actually just 4 consonants. So you would read it would be YHVH instead of YEHOVAH, so that people even couldn't read it. So is that the YHVH? Sabaoth. And that's that. So for next week, I haven't finished the chapter, but I want to say, you shall not commit adultery. I want to see what time is it? I don't know that I have time.
9:30 something, 38.
I don't have time. So why is this the commandment? Random, man.
Right now it's random. It's not going to be
Right
random
now
in
it's
a few
random.
minutes.
It's not gonna be random in a few minutes. I mean, I don't know either. I'm just asking you.
Thou shalt not commit adultery in regards to the spleen.
What is adultery?
Yes, I wanted to ask.
Cheating, man.
Yeah, but what is cheating? What is adultery?
Being unloyal.
Yeah, being unloyal, right? But
Because you can mix up.
loyal to what? That's so. See, now I can see why Master Choa didn't elaborate. Because it gets you into trouble. This thing. So in the Old Testament and in many different traditions, it talks about having, being married, and in some instances, married to multiple partners, right? So a gentleman could have had many wives, or it could have only one wife, right? Depending on the tradition or whatever it was, the Hebrew tradition or the whatever.
Wives are not allowed to have more than one husband.
No, but what I'm trying to say, no, it doesn't matter.
It's
Whatever,
not fair.
it's not fair, right? Yes, I think it had to do with them trying to figure out whose son was who. So, but the thing is this. We're not here. The point is not discussing if that was right or wrong. What I'm trying to say, whether it was one wife or multiple wives, even if the person had multiple wives, sleeping with someone else that wasn't their wife was still considered adultery. So but they have 4 wives. It doesn't matter. They're not married. So there are many things that happen when you have a partner or a single partner, right? So all the chakras connect. When you're making love, etc. So you're sharing energy, this and that. But it says here, you shall not commit adultery. Well, what is it exactly that you're doing? So when you have, let's say, this partner, or you are being, let's say, a loyal or what have you, you have an agreement, right? And you are sharing this energy, and this is the energy. When you go out, right, and you bring another energy that is alien to this system, because what happens, you create a system. You have alien with the system. You're still then you're connected to that and to all those other partners. You stay connected to all those other partners and all that stuff, and so you are affecting now this system. You're contaminating the system. You understand? And Netzach is about nourishing. Netzach is about nourishing this system that you have. So you have a system, right? You're nourishing that system. If you start bringing other things, you have no idea. It's like, remember what it said about the different germs and the different bodies it actually destroys all those antibodies. It takes care of that. It's nourishing. It's keeping this system together. It's nourishing this system. It's not about nourishing all these 20,000 different systems, right? So, but you create a system. So even when in that marriage, in that entity or institution, because it's like even in the Christian tradition, it's called the institution of marriage, because it's just an institution. So even when you are that, it becomes something that is of its own. That's why there's like maybe you have heard, there's that institution. You don't want it to be polluted, or you don't want it to be in different things. So it is said that in a relationship we grow faster. A relationship means that you have an actual relationship with the person. In this relationship with the person, there is trust, there is all these things, and they know if everything happens. So in a different tradition, when there's a gentleman with multiple wives, right? Or maybe there was maybe in the they had to be a matriarchal society where they had multiple husbands, one girl, it doesn't matter, right? So, but what maybe Amazons? I don't think so. No, they didn't. But what I'm trying to say is that even when there's multiple partners, everybody is in the know. They all live together. They all have a system that they are nourishing together. Whether it's only two, or whether it's multiple, but there is
one too many or many too many.
Many too many, right? So what happens is the following: that there is everybody's in the know. Everybody knows who is the partner, who is whatever. And that's why, when you go to the dentist, everyone that lives in the same household, they'll have the same germs or bacteria in the mouth. Because even though whether they share, the toothbrush or not, somehow, in some way, the toothbrush touch, and it's generally normal to find that. So it's the same thing here. Everybody knows more or less what's going on. But if there's an unknown factor, right now, some people are not in the know, and it's not people don't understand that you're bringing things in to that system that do not belong there, or at least no one knows about. You understand? And so it's different. But this is a relationship. This is a relationship in itself. In a relationship itself, everybody's talking to each other. And even though if maybe one person has a relationship with other person, but it's affecting these other people here that may not be part of this relationship. So then it's different. So it affects. You're affecting other people. You're affecting other beings and a whole system. So so in this case, whether it is multiple or just a couple, there is a system, and everybody's in the know. Everybody knows what's happening, and then it's guarded, and you keep it like that. So that you're not affecting any other people. In this case, when you have I wanted to say I had a thought here. I was going to saying all this to make a point. Yeah, but Netzach and
The Old Testament.
so committing adultery. But with Netzach, you're nourishing this system, and that's what you want to do. You want to nourish whatever system that you have, and you have created, and everybody is agreed to be. Then you're not polluting, you're not bringing things outside, and you're not wasting your energy. You understand?
You
So
were saying how in a relationship you grow faster.
thank you, that's what it was. So in a relationship, thank you, that's what it was. So in a relationship, like Master Choa used to say, the same author used to say, so you grow faster spiritually in a relationship. Why? It's much easier to be by yourself, right? You don't have to worry. You meditate when you want, you do what you want, you meditate for 20 hours of the day, or you doesn't matter. When you live in a relationship, when you have a relationship, you have to dedicate time to each other, you have to do this. People are not the same. You have to deal with situations, right? So everybody go like this. You guys want to do an experiment?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, now
Yes,
the breathing
yes,
worked.
yes.
The breathing worked. Okay, good. So focus on your navel. No, I'm just joking. So everybody go like this. This is for Master Choa as well, right? So when there is more friction, when you do this or when you do this? When is there more friction like this
There's no friction.
or like this?
Touching.
Touching, right? So what happens? When people live in the same household, the close, it's like this. You don't live in a different household, you probably go like that, right? There's not that much friction, but there's whatever. You're not with anybody, you're like this, right? So there's no friction whatsoever. But once you're with someone, there's more friction. What happens? But what do you need? Eventually, you can get burned, but what do you need? You need lubrication, right? Like in the cars, same thing happens. You need oil, whatever, you need lubrication. When you're getting a massage, they put oil in you, right? To not burn you, to not hurt you. So the same thing here. And what is the lubrication? Love. Love is the lubrication, is the lubricant. That way, even if there's friction, there's no, there's no damage or anything like that. You help each other, you love each other, you take care of each other, and you understand each other, forgive each other. So this is what's important. But what happens is that it is, when you are with someone, things are going to come up. Things about yourself are going to come up that you will have to deal with. But these are things that are, anytime there is a rift or something that happens in the relationship, it's because of ourselves. Most relationships, it's not like you get home when the person loves you and they express their love by punching you in the face. That's not what happens, some people might, maybe they do martial arts, they like people hit each other, it happens. But 9 times out of, but then they have an understanding, an agreement, right? No disagreements, no. Don't fail in your agreements. So it's basically no adultery. But in this case, people receive people when they get home. If they are being waiting for them all day, they love them, they want to kiss them, they want to hug them, they want to do all this. But so generally when there's a problem, it's because our own insecurities, our own problems, our own baggage, that we may have, our own things. So these things come up when we are with someone. So we are made to work on them. Therefore, we grow faster. But at the same time, you have someone there to help you through. And if they're also in your same, ideally, they're in your same path, whether it's spiritual or not in life, right? Then you can actually share things with each other, and you can have a buddy system. Hey, listen, hey, remember this, or remember you're doing. You may not notice this happening. It's your choice, just to let you know, right? So we help each other. We fall and we help each other up, or we help each other up the mountain. There's a very cool thing about in ninjutsu, right? Long time ago, the ninjas, they used to have a buddy system, right? And so they would generally go in pairs. And so how they would scale very tall walls of castles or whatever is that they would actually, one person would put itself against the wall and the other one would jump on top of the other, the one would grab itself, and the other one would climb on top of the other, and like that. So they would do this, until they get to the top. Help each other up. And so that's something that when you do it by yourself is much harder or sometimes very difficult. In this case, you grow faster and you also have help growing, right? And you share your journey, so it's a nice thing to have. It's very special. So to protect that growth, right, to keep that energy, to help yourself move forward, is you want to keep a nice spleen chakra, because you nourish each other, you grow off each other, you give each other love and you give each other energy. You're constantly nourishing each other. You learn things from them, they learn things from you. And this way you grow together. So you want to nourish that instead of having a dirty spleen chakra, or dirtying it, or having dirty energy or other type of energy that doesn't belong there. So you want to keep that intact. Not intact, but clean. And so that's why that goes there.
It's not random anymore.
It's not random
Yeah.
anymore. Okay. So the seventh commandment and Netzach. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. Chapter 8 is next week. So next week we'll still be reading this book. It's okay. We only started when? August last year or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. So chapter 8, Inner Alchemy. Ooh, Inner Alchemy. Hod, glory.
Big words.
Yes. This is the Meng Chakra, Hod. So it says Hod, Meng Chakra, the table of contents, right? Inner Alchemy, transmuting lead into gold. Very cool. So the alchemists, right, back in the day, were known for seeking to transmute lead into gold. So we'll see that. Physiological functions. Chinese and Indian correspondence of Hod. Forgive us our trespasses. Right? Forgive our trespasses. Transmuting lead into gold. Third pair of complementary opposites. Balancing victory, right, Netzach, with glory. The eighth commandment, the divine name of Hod. Cool? You like it? Okay. So next week, chapter 8, Hod glory. Shall we, and the third and last complementary opposites. You have Netzach and Hod, the main chakra. So you have the three pairs of complementary opposites. This is the last one. We're getting closer here. After Hod, we have two more. Okay. So, shall we? You guys have any questions? No? Okay, cool. Let's do this. If you have questions, put them in the comments. Hit like and subscribe and all that jazz. That is cool. I'm just here for the to share whatever, whatever little bit that I can. So thank you for watching. To the Divine Supreme and Absolute God, we thank you for your great and priceless blessings. Help, protection, guidance, and divine illumination, for your priceless teachings, the priceless knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom, and the intuition. To my spiritual teacher, all spiritual teachers, holy angels, holy masters, to all the saints, to the divine Lord Christ, and to the divine hierarchy, We humbly thank you for your divine and priceless blessings. We thank you for your divine guidance, help, protection, for the knowledge, the intuition, the wisdom, and the understanding. With thanks and in full faith, for your divine presence in this session, we humbly thank you. With deep gratitude, respect, and love, so be it. Thank you. Many blessings be to all, especially to those that attend these meetings and the channel. Amen. So be it. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Ama Namaste.